What's up, guys? My name is Brian Evans, Actors Revolution. I talk to actors all the time, and a lot of times they're interested in creating their own material, but there's a bunch of reasons why they don't get started. And the one that I hear a lot is that I don't know how to write. That's not something I do. I'm not even interested in that, or it's not something that I'm really able to do talent-wise. Well, guys, I do feel like it's important for you at least to understand the elements of story. And a lot of that stuff is innate. If you're an actor, a lot of the storytelling is stuff that you guys deal with all the time. And it's important, in my opinion, for you to have some understanding of it so that when you're creating that material that you're talking about, that the story itself represents you and presents your best attributes, your specific and unique skills as an actor. That's tremendously important when you're creating. I don't know that there's a huge point in doing it if you're not really focused on what you're best at, and who knows that better than you? You should know that up and down, in and out, what you're best at. And so having the idea, at least for the story, originating with you is something that I think it's worth it to try to do. So I want to run through the 6 elements of story as I understand them so that you can understand what plays out in most stories and how to plug in whatever ideas that you have into these 6 elements. So at the very least, you can have the semblance of a story, a log line, a little bit of a description, so that if you want to connect with somebody else who does write, you can at least have an original idea that's yours, that represents your skills, and that person can help you take it the rest of the way. So let's get started. Number 1, the first thing that every good story has is a hero. A protagonist, someone that is at the center of that story, and that someone is going to have something going on that's going to carry us through the length of the story. Okay, the second thing that every good story has is a desire. That character wants something, and they want it really bad. Whatever it is, we want to make sure that that character has something that is pulling at them in some way that they need to achieve, and if they have that, that's going to give us the impetus for the story itself. The third thing that every good story has is an obstacle. Something is blocking this person from achieving the goal that they want to achieve, and they're really upset about that, or bothered by it, or really need to accomplish it. And that brings us to number 4, stakes. Every good story has stakes, meaning consequences. If this thing that they want is not achieved, they are going to have a problem. It could be, oh, they need a job. If they don't get that job, they're going to get kicked out of their house. Or they want to meet this girl or guy, and especially in younger stories, love, first love, romance is a big deal. Emotionally, that's a huge thing to have at stake. You don't want to have your heart broken. It's a terrible thing. I know that most of us know that. So whatever the thing is, make sure that there are real stakes at hand. I think that if the stakes are really high, if the person's going to lose a job, lose a person that they love, lose some goal that they've worked their entire life for, it really brings the audience in. It brings in people's attention and makes them want to stick with that person, especially if you've done your job of making this person likable. And that's something that we can discuss in another video. But the long and the short of it is, I want to make sure that you guys know that stakes are really important. Consequences if this thing is not accomplished. Now, these stakes are what make the character take our next element, and that is taking action. If this character has this goal and there's this obstacle, but the stakes are high enough, that person will take an action anyway to attempt to get to the thing that they have in mind, that desire, that goal, that objective. And so no matter what, those stakes are really in their minds, and they feel like they have to go after this thing anyway, so they take a certain action. And then the 6th element, the last element, is the outcome. How did it work out? So quickly, the 6 elements of story: hero, desire, obstacle, stakes, the action that is taken regardless, and last but not least, the outcome of what's going on. And hopefully you can do this in a way that's entertaining. Hopefully you can do this in a way that is surprising and, not what we've seen a million times. But I think that there are only a few stories. It's really in the way that you actually tell your story that's going to be the determining factor as to how things work out. But those are the 6 elements of story. And if you have further questions about how to do this thing and get started creating your own material, you should go to actorsrevolution.net/start. I'll put a link in the notes below. Want to make sure that you guys have everything you need. This is a free course. It's totally 100% free mini course. You can take it online, and it'll show you a bunch of steps that go into more depth about how to create your own material, even if you don't know how to write, even if you don't have an idea yet. This is important stuff for actors. This is Actors 2.0, guys. We do not want to look to the old blueprint as a way to get into the business. We absolutely want to take control of our careers, start creating that material that's unique to us, and not depend only on auditions to get things going. I'm Brian Evans, Actors Revolution. I'm super glad you guys decided to join me. I hope to see you again. Hit that subscribe and the like buttons so that you'll know. Hit the bell as well so you know every time I put out a video. I'm going to be hitting you guys with a ton of great material on how to create your own films, your own web series. I think it's tremendously important for actors today. Brian Evans, Actors Revolution. I'll see you guys next time.